Hello, my name is Lucas Montana. I'm lead artist for Fabled Court, and you are watching Vernissage of the Court. Thank you for joining me. I was prepared a little bit early today, so I figured I'd go ahead and start. So let's get into it, I think. So I was just kind of working on this a little bit before the stream. I got a little impatient, so I figured I'd go ahead and just launch right into it. Doing a little bit of inking work on the on our next kit. Hello. Welcome to Vernissage of the Court. I had a pretty easygoing day at work. Nice and quiet. Did not get interrupted very often for anything, so I was allowed to just work. That was nice. Got a number of frames done. Even had someone walk in with a frame that I was actually able to complete while they were there. Thank you. I appreciate the compliment. I'm liking the way this is turning out as well. So I'm still working on the same kit from last week. The Yule theme kit. I had a surprise paint class on Monday night, so I wasn't able to work on that or work on character sticker stuff. So that put a delay on a number of projects here at Fabled Court. Including getting this kit done for the release this morning. So I'm just plugging away. But this particular box is a garland spiral bonfire. So I didn't write the treatment for this kit, so I'm not entirely for sure the significance of this. So I couldn't elucidate you with trivia on it. All I can tell you is that it's fun to draw squiggle marks in the shape of garland. Because do you know what garland looks like? Well, I'm sure you have an idea and can imagine its structure. It's not something you really mess with on a day-to-day basis, not most people anyway. And then from a distance like this, which there are no people in this scene for you to really get a sense of scale or anything like that. But either way, it doesn't need a structure. You can just draw squiggle lines, and anybody looking at it, especially once color's applied, I hope, we'll be able to say, hey, that's a spiral of garland. And I'm hoping that the people who are familiar with more with Yule season traditions will be able to appreciate it. Anyway, so the point about the not being particularly familiar with Garland and you don't spend much time with it is that I can pretty much draw just any kind of squiggle shapes. I don't have to be specific or precious about any of it. Which for this whole kit, I'm trying to exercise a looser sense, a looser style. Especially since I've gotten so many back now. So many copies of the kits that we have released. Where a lot of the effort that I put into like these smaller details just really don't show at all. And without the knowledge of being the person who created them, they're not going to show up. Nobody's going to be aware of them. Like the way I chose to color them, the way I specifically picked pixel perfect selections to use to aid in the coloring of the kit literally cannot be appreciated by the person who's going to view it when it's in the palm of their hand. And that's fine. Like I'm not sad about that or whatever. Like that doesn't really affect me. What does affect me is that it is not something that is worth fretting over. It was never worth fretting over to begin with, but I figured if I'm here, I might as well do it correctly. But I mean, that just comes from being in a print centric field of artwork. Knowing that if I'm going to have this thing printed at this specific size, it needs to be able to fit this kind of criteria. But I don't know that I've ever created a piece of artwork that's ever been printed in any kind of accuracy. At least when I was working in CMYK. Specifically, it was that I was working with people who weren't also adhering to print standards. So that was an issue. And I didn't know that. If I would have known how things were going to turn out, I would have been able to do a lot more, a lot faster. Because getting that print ready for print quality is a lot of work and requires some kind of specific. I'm going to add a log over here. Oh, I didn't want to erase that. I want to erase this one because I like the way that looks. And then erase this. Anyway, my plans for the weekend, we'll be working on this kit. Although I don't know how practical that will be. Just knowing my work ethic for things that happen over the weekend. Considering it's the last kit of the year, I'm hoping that will provide a little bit of motivation to actually work on it. And that I won't just fall back on, it's the weekend. I don't want to work. No, I'm pretty lethargic when it comes to starting work on the weekend. It's not something I'm crazy about, but like I know where it comes from. Is like that I'm trying so hard every other day. I just need some time for myself and to relax. But I have shit to do. I gotta do the thing. You know, I don't need my glasses to draw because I'm nearsighted. I can see right here just fine. And probably wearing my glasses while being this close to a monitor is probably making my eyesight worse. But anyway. Yeah, so it'll be working on this kit this weekend. So hopefully we can release it Monday. I don't want to have to push it till next Friday because I feel like that'd be too late. Be too late. So that's a thing. I feel like I'm almost done with the inking here, but I still have to do the trees back here. I ain't crazy about it. Is it weird that I'm perfectly fine drawing the garland, but I don't want to draw any more tree trunks with candles on them? Like, they're not even that hard. Not difficult. Doesn't take very long. I just don't wanna. I did not watch last night's Critical Role. I watched the Video Game Awards instead. I don't remember there was a specific reason as to why I decided to watch that. But before I get onto that, I will briefly touch on Critical Role. Today, while I was at work, I did see their new intro for Season 3, for Campaign 3. And after that, immediately jumped on Twitter. Screw work, I want to see how they did it. And so I saw a little bit of behind the scenes about how they did the thing. And it's literally just high-speed camera throwing water all over the place. It's so fun and energetic. The cinematography on it, and the song itself is beautifully produced. The singing voices of the cast is immaculate. Hearing Sam Riegel and Liam O'Brien, Travis Willingham, excuse me, Laura Bailey, Ashley Johnson, all of them just getting into and singing. The final mix is just so good. I think this being an outdoor scene, and specifically having these candles and this fire, demands it being a lower lit scene. I don't think I'm gonna have to do very much for this. Let's throw a log in here. I'm gonna name this stone Patrick. One of my favorite performers is Patrick Stump. I was gonna break out into an impromptu song, but now I can't remember one. Specifically from his solo album. Okay. So, I don't want to draw trees anymore. Yes, I do love the way he croons. Once upon a time, one of my sisters compared my voice to his, said it had similar character. I'm not entirely for sure what they were referencing, but I am still, to this day, fairly certain they were just blowing smoke up my butt. Hi, welcome to the stream. Just working on drawing some trees here. Oh, no worries. If I was doing this for the sake of watchers, I would not be doing this anymore. Actually, at that point, I don't know exactly why. I decided I wanted to stream artwork. I don't really want to be well known by anybody. Like I don't want to be famous, or I don't want to be particularly well known. I want to be well known enough to have work, but I don't need to be I don't need to be famous or anything. I guess that's primarily the reason why, was just to say, hey, here's what I can do. Although streaming is not the best avenue for that. So I don't know. It just seemed like something was fun, and it was like a nice cross section for the stuff I was interested in and what I like to do, what I went to school for, what I was interested in. Like once upon a time I wanted to be a filmmaker, but film requires too many people. Well, this might have been more of an issue of where I am, where I was from, where I was at when I was trying to pursue these things, and just like not knowing exactly what I wanted to do within the industry. Like what I found out was that I really just want to draw, man. I want to design things. I want to create things. I want to build things. I want to tell a story, but I don't want. Well, okay, so the issue was that I wasn't finding other people who were creative and talented and were willing to work with me towards a bigger goal, whether it was my goal or theirs. There wasn't the right kind of people to facilitate that, or the ones that I knew and were networking with. So I very quickly did not want to engage with other people in a creative sense, because they couldn't match my passion, they couldn't match my drive or the amount of work that I was willing to put in. And so when that didn't happen, I immediately pulled everything back. And so it just wasn't a very pleasant experience to try to get into that space. And it was also not the right location either. So like I definitely found talented people who were skilled and passionate. They just weren't passionate about the same thing. You know, me also being socially awkward was like, yeah, I want to work with people, but I also don't want to talk to anyone. When there's a distance between me and the people, okay. So my thing is that I tend to have very strong connections to people. And when I don't get that same kind of reciprocated energy or feeling from other people, then I withdraw. And so that has made it so that I don't initially put myself out there to kind of connect with people unless I have a sense that they are a person that I would actually want to connect with. So it takes a long time for me to really open up and allow myself to get attached to someone, because I need to know that they're someone who is worth investing in, whether it's my time, emotions, or whatever. So I tend to be distant as I observe. And so while I wouldn't say I have many friends, the friends I do have are exceptionally beautiful people. Yeah, so when I tell someone an introvert, I don't think they're getting the full picture of what I'm talking about. I just realized I'm not as zoomed in as I usually am with these things. Because normally I'd be in here like this. I think honestly where I was still pretty close. Closer than I probably should or could be. That's another thing I'm trying to do, is to make sure that I'm at a distance from my work that is going to be representative of more closely representative of the way the work will actually be observed when printed. I mean, even still this, I mean, this is a box that is like an inch wide, and right now in front of me, it's like 5 inches wide. So yeah, when you're willing to be patient to get to know people, to see who they truly are, I think that's when you find the most special ones. It's also probably the reason why I've never been in a significant relationship of any notable duration. I mean, I've definitely tried with some people, but like either it was the wrong time or the wrong people. I not really for sure where I was going with that, but anyway. But to go back and chat a little bit, yeah, it's been almost 7 months since the shop was opened. It still feels like it's only been 3 or something. I don't know. I feel like I've done a lot of work, but don't get to see as many kits as I feel like I've actually done, and it's weird. I feel like I've done more kits than I've actually done. Maybe that's just because I was want to say burning myself alive. That's a weird that's a weird turn of phrase, but I don't know. I was pushing myself really hard to try to get work done. And so I think that's what's contributing to me feeling like I should be able to see more kits than what we have actually put out. And I don't exactly remember when I was looking back at the stuff we released, because there's been other times when like I've been compiling the artwork that I've done and putting it together in like a visual sense that allowed me to really appreciate exactly how much I have done in the last 7 months. So like when I look at just the kits that we put out, like, yeah, sure, it's less than a dozen or whatever, but when you put all of it together, I don't think I've ever produced this much art, period. So that's kind of cool. But also at the same time, there's still like this weird instance of imposter syndrome. Like I feel like I don't want to say that it's not like I'm not good enough, but I'm not achieving what I want to. I think that's a little bit more of an accurate statement, is that I'm not achieving what I want to, whether it's production time or production quality. I'm not for sure. Like there's some bomb ass kits that we've done that I'm absolutely over the moon ecstatic and proud of. However, I think that the issue is that I can't, there are elements about them that I can't be super excited about. More because they're like licensed, they're not ours. I can't do anything with it because it's not mine. Like it's borrowing the creativity of other people instead of coming up with something that was just us or just for us. I mean, all of the kits are essentially just for us, but I mean, I hope other people get use and joy out of them, but I don't know, there's just something about knowing that it was all just our work, what we've done. And it's something that we took from nothing or from inspiration and created something that was truly unique to us, that was our voice, that represents us from the core of our being and is able to be shared with other people in a way that they can understand without any context. And I don't know how well those specific kits come off. Like, when you look at this, do you see that energy? Do you see that desire? Does my voice speak without my words? Yes. I like to cook. I don't like the amount of time it takes because I feel like I could be doing something else with that time, especially when there's things that I need to be doing with that time. But when I do take that time to make something for myself, like knowing what went into it, what I put in it, what I wanted to get out of it, that feeling is also really great too. Yes, soul food. I mean, well, okay. I don't know what culturally soul food is supposed to be. Excuse me. It was a term that I heard a lot going in from the 90s into the early aughts, which still feels really weird to say. From the early 2000s. But I haven't heard it much since then. So I don't know exactly what's going on there. But nourishment for your spirit, for your soul. allowing yourself a moment to connect with the world around you in a tangible and real way that is both intangible and unreal. Being a person of the older variety, I don't know how many experiences I have that could possibly be soul changing. And it could be very much my personality and my tendency to kind of stay away from other people for any number of reasons. But it's been a long time since I've had an experience that was soul changing. Or maybe in the moment I'm just not able to think of one. Could be either way. Oh boy. Well then. It looks like a thing. Well, I've been working 50 minutes on this thing. I did not know I was going to take it that far. I thought I was going to start early, do a little bit of inking, and then color in a mystic deer. Reindeer? Whatever. I mean, that was the title of the Vernissage. The court. Anyway, I thought I was going to be working on this. Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to start working on it now. I just don't know how long I'm going to take it. Like I said, it's been 50 minutes. And my computer's not great with stuff. Doing streaming for too long. Or maybe I was trying to get it to do too much. I don't know. Either way. So, what am I doing with this? I think it's supposed to be a similar time of day as this this spiral garland deal. And I think that was going to be evening. Just dark enough. Cold, so it can't be too saturated. I'm gonna be experimental with this, I guess. I'm still not for sure exactly how I'm going to do anything with this kit. I know that I wanted to do heavy line work for some reason. I don't remember why. Reduce the saturation on that. Let's switch over to a texture brush. Whoa, what? A little bit brighter, a little bit closer to white. You don't need to know art and fancy terms. You just need to know what it looks like. It looks good. Right here, I'm going for a vignette effect, where to help to frame the subject in a positive light. Really draw your eyes to this one focal point. I'm trying to just say a mishmash of words in a fancy kind of sounding voice, but it actually kind of made sense. Whoops. Oops. That's too bright. Oh, duh. Whoops. Can't do nothing about it now. If I can't, I mean, I won't. Engage in the history brush. Get out of here, errant marks. Nobody needs brown snow. Okay. I'm not crazy about potty humor, so I'm very aware that that has changed as I've gotten older. But when I was younger, I very much was not a potty humor kind of person. So what was it? I absolutely detested the use of it and refused to lower myself to such levels. I still did, because it's potty humor. It's universal. Everybody has to poop, and there's no getting away from it. I mean, clearly for everything there's some kind of exception. But yeah. Anyway, where was I going? Guess I'll lay in some dark green. Some dark greens. Let's also get rid of this up here. I don't want to have to deal with the green being tainted by the brown in terms of its vibrancy and bringing the whole thing down. I'm sure it's not going to matter, but I'm gonna make it so it does. Or no, I'm gonna pretend like it matters. I don't like how vibrant this green is. Should be darker, deeper, closer to brown. I think that. Yeah, like that. Whoa. My screen just flickered at me. I don't remember if that was good or bad. But, I think it's just bad. I forgot that I don't have to color in the lines because I got history mode set up. And this one. Sample the colors, please. This is early on into me trying to put snow on top of these trees. I don't like it. I know I don't like it. I'm hoping that once I'm on the other side, it'll be fine. So there's like a couple layers of different shading levels to apply to it. Right now, it just looks like white or a weird nonsensical color being applied to the boughs of the tree. I don't know why I said it like that. It just occurred to me to call them boughs instead of branches. Don't know that there's a significant difference. And in this moment, don't particularly think it prescient for me to question it. But it is filler for me to fill the space. It is not a conversation, but it is words for me to say. Because right now I'm not thinking about what I have to say. I'm thinking about where I'm putting this pen to this tablet. And as I continue to work it back and forth, I'm feeling better and better about it all the time. Even before I get into the other layers. Yeah. As I add another layer of a lighter color, it feels like it has shape, dimension, volume. I don't even know if you can see my hands. That was a rhetorical question. You don't need to see my hands to know that I'm gesturing wildly. You can see my shoulders and my arms and my whatever this part is, chest, moving. You can see everything else that's connected to my arm, to my hands, moving around. Like you can see shadows going around. Whoops. First, before we do that, let's erase the tree color out of the, I don't know, I guess sky. I gotta fill the space. This space is not supposed to be sky. But anyway, I'll do that later when I'm not so hyped up. So whatever energy space I'm in right now. I hesitate to call it a groove. I think it's more like a manic state, but I don't want to use that word because in my context, in my experience, that has a very specific meaning that cannot be applied to what's going on right now. With all that being said, I feel hyper. Like, I want to get out of here. I want to go. I want to get off of here and go do something. But I'm also feeling it right now. Or something. I don't know. Definitely don't want to call it groove either. It's not flow. Because I'm way too chatty for that. Now I can activate new history state. So give these some antlers some color, I guess. Yeah. I was debating as to whether or not I wanted to just define a new a selection instead of having to go back and clean up after the fact with the history brush, but it's fine. don't know what color I want things to be right now. Because now I've gone back and forth between the base needs to be dark, but the tips need to be dark, but the base needs to be dark too. Where's the space for it to be brown? And at this point, I've just made everything dark brown. Why did I start with the lighter brown if I was just going to cover it with the dark brown? Because I didn't know when I picked the lighter brown that it wasn't dark enough to be the brown that I wanted to be in the first place. And so now everything's just covered in brown for no reason. Might as well just put some brown down there. Who cares? It's all going to be disappeared anyway. Because that's what you do with things. You disappear them. Boy, I hope this is as entertaining as I feel it is. Yeah, the more I work on this, the more I think I'm not going to do anything with the background. Not that I have to. I mean, y'all don't know what I had in mind to put back there. Y'all have no idea. As far as you know, it's just empty space. A void. Nothingness. It's just the sky of nothingness. Or something. I don't know what I'm talking about. As I've stated before, just saying words to be saying words. Does not feel like it's been an hour and 12 minutes. Feels like it's been an hour and 30. I was going to fix that because I was inside the line. And by inside the line, I mean in this context, this specific context, I was outside the line. But that's not going to show up in print. I don't need to do that. Don't need to waste my time. Control Z. You know what? Drawing a selection around this stuff, I would have been a lot more focused on making sure it was all within the line. But now that I'm in this space right here, cleaning up where I was very clearly outside the lines, I realized that it is a lot faster for me to do it this way because I'm a lot more cognizant of where me making a mistake doesn't matter. That it doesn't have to be perfect and on the line. It doesn't have to be a pixel perfect anti-alias pixel perfect aliased selection that is never going to miss a pixel. That it is either 100% on or off. Because that's definitely not going to make it to the print. I mean, I save these things out at 600 pixels per square inch. And if it prints out at 300 ppi, you're not going to see half of those. So why do I need to stress myself out over making sure all of it's pixel perfect? So no, I did not need to draw a selection around the antlers here because I would not have been as loose or as quick as I have been in just cleaning it up. I'm not for sure how much time I spent on this. Oh, I spent less than 3 minutes on it because at 3 minutes ago I said, hey, it's been an hour and 12 minutes. Now it's an hour and 15. Anyway, I would have spent at least 5 minutes on perfectly drawing out each antler. It would have been at least 5 minutes to just make the selection. Whoa, did not need to go that far out. You know, I think this is a pretty good spec for how I'm going to do the colors on this. Just kind of throwing colors around. Because that feels good. It feels quick and efficient. And I'm liking the way it looks. Even with the empty void space behind the deer. I mean, it's going to create contrast. It's going to be some kind of white, light tannish. Because I'm thinking about calling it now instead of coloring the thing. But I'm never going to come back to it. If I don't show it to you now, I'm never going to get it to you. Because I haven't been recording any of the creation of this kit, which is weird. Honestly, recording stuff has been like a major pain in the butt lately. I mean, I'm already under a lot of anxiety as it is, knowing that my voice is not matching what's happening on the camera. And already, I've cut the camera's resolution a lot just to try to get it as close to in time and in sync. I can see by the voice thing that the voice is coming out perfectly fine in real time, but the video is delayed by like a second. But I mean, it's whatever. I don't know. I think I'm going to give it a minute and figure out how I feel. It's going to kind of stare at this creepy goat-eyed stag thing. With color, the eyes will look fine. And honestly, probably will just look like black orbs. But whatever. I mean, the detail was there. I know that that's what their eyes look like. It's just this oval slit. This oval pupil? This oval pupil. Man, why do frogs' pupils look like that? What do multiple pupils do in an eyeball? Are those all 3 separate openings, or are they an opening to the same cavity? What's going on behind those eyes? What am I talking about? Thank you. I like the horns too. There's just enough color variety to make them interesting without being a solid color. I'm too curious for this world. I want to know all the information, even though I'm fairly certain all of it will make me sad. But anyway, activate new history state. This needs to be darkish. Let's just flood the canvas with color. Just get it out there with a mild transparency, so that you get a sense of the blueness of the scene. And then we'll sample that color to make sure that the head up here gets colored like that too. Sample. It feels nice and creamy. Or something. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Antlers. They're called antlers. What are called antlers? I mean, obviously antlers are called antlers, but I mean, I don't know what I wasn't paying attention to when that comment showed up to know the context. Also, there's a delay, so I'm even further away from. Anyway, whatever. Okay, so I wanted a tan color. but also I need a brown for a reason. A less saturated brown. And where is that brown going? Put it up here along the nose, the forehead, going into the antlers. Yeah, I'm still too far out from when I'm actually seeing these comments to when your answer for them is. What? The delay. The delay is still messing it up. I don't understand anymore. This needs to be a little bit brighter. A little less saturated. I called the antlers horns. Bucks and deer have antlers. Rhinos have horns. I don't know the difference. I feel like there is a difference. I don't know if definition speaking or for the sake of definition of one or the other, that there is a difference. Oh, somebody else called them horns. Maybe. And by maybe, I mean that I think I also call them horns at the same time. I don't doubt that they were called horns. There's a chat log there that clearly proves that they were called horns at a point. Hmm. Horns are permanently attached. Antlers shed every year. Interesting. I would have to verify that, but that sounds like a distinct enough difference between the two. I mean, I don't have to verify anything, but I'm a curious person. But who knows if I'll actually remember to try to look that up on my own. Unlikely. Unlikely that I'm actually going to remember it long enough to be able to go look it up. But either way. Man, the variation color on this is great. I love it. You know, it's actually very nice not to have to worry about every single little pixel. But I do have to do something about these eyes. So now we're gonna zoom in. Anyway. I feel like the antlers don't have enough contrast, but I do like that. I just smeared my glasses with a bunch of finger oil. It was distracting. Anyway, I fulfilled the promise on the title. Mystic Reindeer. I don't think it's a reindeer. I think it's just a stag. But anyway. With that, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it. Thank you very much for joining me in my very hyper state. My name is Lucas Montana, artist for Fabled Court, and this has been Vernissage of the Court. Thank you for joining me. I think next week is the last week for the year that I will be live for Vernissage of the Court, and then the following 2 weeks, I believe, will be